It's live.
You put something in there?
Yeah, are you on? Oh, this you? Okay, so you just look. Make a comment. Hey guys, went ahead and jumped on a couple minutes early. We're going to get started right at 1 o'clock. Go ahead and send out, share it, let folks know to get on. This is going to be an incredible live that we're going to have today. Appreciate you guys. In the meantime, tell me where you're calling in from, where you're coming in live. We've got Angola. I saw Angola on here. Right. Austin, Texas, Nigeria, Maryland. Good deal. So, Trinidad, but we international. That's what I'm talking about. What up, G Money? So you just come here and do that. Let me see here. All right. 1 o'clock on the dot. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off. All right. How we looking over there? Looking pretty good? All right. Good deal. Listen, super excited to be on here. Happy new month. This is the month of October, the 8th month of the year. And I wanted to come on. We've got October, September, August. It's August. Yeah, it is August. I'm tripping. Now, here's the thing. October was actually the first 8th month of the year. Come to think about it, Oct is 8. Right. All right. So I know I'm tripping. All right. Anyway, August, September. Gary, you know why my mind is in October. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months. All right. Good deal. That was a good start. All right. We got 5 months left in this year. And I thought, let me see my other phone. I thought it was fitting that I would come on and do this live here, just to. And you guys saw the flyer. It's a goal and self, but it's really goals and the self-confidence in order to achieve them. Okay, that's what this call is going to be about. It's going to be about goals and the self-confidence that it takes to actually achieve it. Ladies and gentlemen, the information I'm going to share with you, I have learned years ago, almost 2 decades ago. I learned the information I'm going to share with you right now. Now, the first time I heard it, I didn't understand it, okay? Didn't understand it, didn't know what it was. Someone told me to read Think and Grow Rich, so I started to read it. Didn't really understand the information in there. But that's what my coach at the time told me to do. He said, hey, get this book, Think and Grow Rich, read it, study it. And that's what I did. And in there were some things that I started to learn and really understand as the years went by. And I can tell you that It has served myself in a tremendous amount of way. It served literally now millions of people all around the world. I believe that the book Think and Grow Rich has actually created over 1 million millionaires. Well over that. I think most millionaires have actually read that book, Think and Grow Rich. As a matter of fact, the gentleman that actually works with me now, Alan, I actually met him at a bank, and he said, "Hey man, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I don't remember what I told him, but I said, you need to get this book, Think and Grow Rich." And he got the book, and now we're actually working together. He actually has a real estate company that he's working on as well. So I'm going to give you some information today, and it's maybe it's some things that you've heard before, but I believe that you're going to get something fresh from it today. I think you're going to hear something that's really going to excite you to really close out the next 5 months. I believe that all the things that you've been believing for, everything that you've been asking God for, I believe can happen in the next 5 months. That's the beautiful part about it. So you started out this year, you said, "Hey, this is what I want. This is what I want you to do in 2022. This is what I'm believing for." And the first 7 months have gone by, and it may look like it's not happening, but here's one thing I want to tell you. You're much closer to it happening than you were at January 1st. The things that I said, the things that I wrote down, January 1st, I'm much closer to it today being August 2nd than I was in January 1st. And that's the mentality you got to have. Goals are not there for you to hit. Goals are there for you to grow. Write that down. Goals are there for you to grow. They're there for you to stretch. There are two types of people on this planet. People that set goals and people that don't set goals. If you don't set goals, ladies and gentlemen, then you're living a life with no direction. So I want you to write this down. Goals give your life direction. Goals also give your life a purpose. Write this down. I want you to put a star by this. Goals save lives. Goals save lives. If you got a purpose, if you got some sort of direction, if there's something that's energizing you, that's another thing goals do. Goals energize you. They give you life, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have that, then you're waking up every single day and there's no target. There's nothing to get, right? You don't have you don't get anything without a target. Does that make sense? So every single day, you've got to now start developing the habit of setting goals. I remember when I first learned this information, I would set daily goals. I would set daily activity goals. I wanted to prospect 5 people a day, 10 people a day, 20 people a day. I would set weekly goals. I wanted to show the plan 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week. I would set monthly goals of, how much activity I wanted my entire organization to do. I would set 90-day goals, yearly goals. Now, I set yearly goals. I set 3, 5, 10-year goals. All right? And that's a habit, ladies and gentlemen, because I understand that goals give my life a direction. Goals energize me. Goals give me a purpose. They give me something to strive for. All right? You got to remember this, guys. So goals are so essential to your life. The difference between rich and wealthy people and the poor middle class is that the rich and wealthy, they set goals, ladies and gentlemen. The poor middle class, they just go to work. Right? They work and they work and they work and they work for a paycheck, and that's all they think about. The book Proverbs says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." You become what you think about. So when you set a goal and that becomes the dominating thought of your life, ladies and gentlemen, you now become it. It actually puts you in a position where you're in a place of peace. You're not worried about what people do. You're not worried about what people say. You're not worried about what people don't do, because you know what your goal is. You know what your vision is. You know what it is that you're looking to accomplish. And that's what's exciting about this information that you're going to get here today, because you're going to understand how you can actually go out and build whatever it is that you want to build, whether it's building your life, building your business, the relationships happens. Does that make sense? All right. So you got to plan it out. You got to plan out the work. Plan out the calendar. Hey, I'm going to show the plan this many times a week. Hey, I'm going to prospect this many times per day. And see, guys, because I've got the vision written down, because I've got the goal written down, it doesn't matter who says yes. It doesn't matter who says no. It doesn't matter who gets in. It doesn't matter who quits. It doesn't matter at all. Now, they matter, but it doesn't matter. You catch that? They do matter. Those individuals, they matter because they're people. But what they do doesn't matter when it comes to the vision that you have. I tell people all the time, God has to use people, but he doesn't have to use you. But he's got to use people. It may not be you. It may not be me that he uses to accomplish your goal. It may be somebody else you don't even know right now that he uses to accomplish the goal. So no one is holding you hostage to you accomplishing your goal. No one has control over that. It is you and God. And he's going to bring the right people. Does that make sense? And then last but not least, number 6, you're going to have to reward yourself. See, guys, over the last 18 years, I've rewarded myself for accomplishing different goals. The biggest reward for me right now is watching leaders that I care about go on and supersede everything I've accomplished in this industry of network marketing. That's going to be the biggest reward that I can see. When I write down my goals and I say, man, we're going to have this many people earn $1 million. We're going to have this many people become financially free. We're going to have, that's my reward at this point. I don't need another car. No, all that, the jets and all, that's already done. That's not, I already wrote that down. I don't have to worry about that. So you got to reward yourself. Maybe it starts with, you taking yourself for a spa day. I don't know. Maybe it's you getting a pair of shoes. At one point for me, it was getting a pair of Gucci shoes. That's how I rewarded myself for hitting a $1,000 bonus. And I don't know. You're going to have to figure out what's in it for me. Why am I doing this? But remember, leaders eat last. That's why it's step number 1. But watch this. When you write the vision, that vision will allow you to reward yourself at the end. Does that make sense? But you got to do those things in the middle. You got to set the date of completion for it. You're going to have to resolve those inner conflicts. I see people fail in life because of unresolved inner conflicts, unresolved situations with relationships, because your emotional strength, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with the circumstances that you're in, the mood that you're in, and the relationships in your life. That's the soul. Remember the soul, the emotions? Your emotions have to be intact in order for you to prosper. It says, even as your soul prospers. So if your emotions are out of whack, then it's impossible for you to prosper. And one of the bad emotions is unforgiveness. Holding on to a grudge. You say, well, what if they keep doing it? Well, then you got to keep forgiving. I'm sorry. All right? But once again, is the vision more important? Now, I've taught for years the 6 steps to setting goals. I'm going to add a number 7. Write this down. Number 7 to accomplishing your goals and your dreams. You ready for this? You're going to do 3 things. 3 things is number 7. You're going to have to adapt, you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to grow. David, I said to myself, beginning of this year, David, you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to change, and you're going to have to grow. You cannot remain the same person. You're going to have to adapt, you're going to have to change, and you're going to have to grow. If you don't do those 3 things, this goal, this particular goal that you're asking me for, cannot happen. It requires you to adapt. It requires you to change, and it requires you to grow. That's number 7. You can add that to it. Now, how do I get the self-confidence to get this thing done? Ladies and gentlemen, I got about 30 minutes left with you. And I'm going to break this thing down once again like a chicken wing. You cannot believe what I'm telling you, but I promise you, you will see it. And, I'm saying it's me telling you, but it's really not me. This is in the book again, right? Think and Grow Rich. 500 of the richest people in the world. They're the ones that put these thoughts in here. I think they know a little bit about success. I think they know a little bit about winning in life. This is what they said. The self-confidence formula. Number one says, I know that I have the ability to achieve the definite purpose of my life. the object of definite purpose in my life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistence, continuous action towards its attainment. You're going to have to make a demand on yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to demand on yourself that you're going to be persistent and you're going to take continuous action to accomplish that goal. It is a demand. It is a command that you give yourself. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead others. If you cannot make a demand on yourself, you cannot make a demand on other people. I can make a demand on you because I've made a demand on myself, and I hold myself to that demand, and that demand that I hold myself to is one of persistent, continuous action. That is settled. Whatever I've got to do, as long as it's legal, morally right, I will do it to accomplish the definite purpose of my life. Period. End of story. I demand it and I promise to render such action. What kind of action? It says such action. What kind of action? The persistent type of action. The continuous type of action. David, I don't feel good today. Great. Persistent, continuous action. David, I don't feel like showing the plan today. Great. Persistent, continuous action. David, somebody quit my business. Great. Persistent, continuous action. Great. David, somebody joined my team. Great. Persistent, continuous action. David, my business fell apart. Great. Continuous, persistent action. I demand that of myself, and I promise that to myself. Have you made that demand to yourself? Or are you still waiting on somebody else to do it for you? Are you waiting on somebody else to show the plan for you? Are you waiting on somebody else to do a Zoom call for you? Are you waiting on someone else to show you what to do when they've shown you time and time and time and time and time again? Because you haven't made the demand on yourself. If it was just you and nobody else, how long would it take for you to learn a presentation? How long would it take for you to learn how to show a property? How long would it take for you to go through that course? How long would it take for you to go through whatever it is you had to go through in order to win? But you're waiting on somebody else because you haven't made that demand on yourself. You haven't made that promise to yourself. Okay? Let me get to some of my favorite parts here. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind. See, that's a realization, ladies and gentlemen. That's an awakening. When you understand that, when you understand just that line right there, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my life. What are the dominating thoughts in your life? What are the dominating thoughts in your life, ladies and gentlemen? Will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. So when I have a dominating thought in my mind, it will eventually, not right away, but it will eventually, that's the word, write that down, reproduce. In order for something to be reproduced, it first had to be produced. It was produced in the mind. Now it's reproduced where? In physical action. And gradually transform themselves into what? Physical reality. So it starts in my mind. It's the dominating thought of my mind. And a thought is something I'm repeating to myself. I'm saying it to myself. I'm seeing it every single day. And then I go and take action. So I put it in the future. And then I go in the present and take action. And then it shows up. And it becomes physical reality. And once it becomes physical reality, it's my past. See, when we get off this call's in your past. Okay? Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Who do you ready for this? Who do you envision you to be? All right? Who do you envision you to be? Who are you seeing yourself to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Who are you seeing yourself? Are you seeing yourself empowering? Are you seeing yourself inspiring? Are you seeing yourself leader of tens of thousands of people? Are you seeing yourself impacting 1 billion people? How do you see yourself? Because how you see yourself is exactly how the world is going to see you. I love number 2, but I really love number 3. All right? I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Do you have a clear mental picture of what that person looks like? Because if you do, what people do or what they don't do won't bother you because you know where it is that you're going. You know what the end result is. Does that make sense? Number 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion. My God, this is amazing right here. I know through the principle of autosuggestion. The only known method to man to creating the emotion of faith is autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is what I say to myself. I know through the principle of faith, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Let me explain that to you in English. What he's basically saying is, through the principle of faith, through the principle of what I say to myself every single day, it will now, when I hold it in my mind, it will now go and find. See, that principle, that faith is going to go and find the right situations. It's going to go and find the right people in order for me to achieve what? In order for me to achieve what? The vision. That's what I'm telling you. See, I hold the vision in my mind, and I use the principle of autosuggestion to hold the vision in my mind, and then it goes and it finds the right people. It'll introduce me to the right people for my company. It'll introduce the right people for the business. It'll introduce the right people that'll work with me. It'll start to remove the wrong people for the vision. No, they're not wrong. They're just wrong for the vision. They can't go where you're going with the vision. Don't mean they're wrong. They got another vision. God has another assignment for them. And you got to be okay with that. You can't hold on to that. There's some practical means, so there's going to be a practical way it's going to show up. That's why I don't really bother. It don't matter what a person does. You know, network marketing, real estate, you got a course business, you got an internet business, you're a photographer, it don't matter what you do. There's some practical means that's going to show up in order for you to attain that goal that you put in your mind through the principle of autosuggestion. You held it in there, and you had strong faith. Not this wishy-washy faith where someone can come along and tell you something else and you, I don't know. Well, I'm undecided. Let me tell you something. When someone tells me they're undecided, I decide for them. When somebody tells me I'm undecided about working with you, I decide for them. I say, listen, you know what you need to do? You probably need to just do that. I love you. I'm going to be here for you, but that's what you need to do. Because when you're undecided, that don't rock with the vision. I need people that are fully committed. Fully committed. And so do you. And see, when you're undecided, I can't be fully committed to you. You get what I'm saying? I can't. Because you're undecided. You're wishy-washy. You're lukewarm. And lukewarm, it ain't me. He said, what do you do when you're lukewarm? He spits you out. I didn't say that. Don't get mad at me. Okay? I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, daily to demand on myself self-confidence. So 10 minutes a day, what he's basically saying is 10 minutes a day to develop the emotion of faith. How do I develop the emotion of faith? Through autosuggestion. What am I saying to myself every single day? I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. And I hold that image in my mind. I hold that vision in my mind. I hold that goal in my mind. I use the principle of autosuggestion. And then he brings the right people. And then the right situations come. The right phone calls come through. People that I knew 5 years ago. People that I knew 10 years ago. They'll just call me out the blue. Or I'll have a thought to call them out the blue. And it's, oh man, Dave, I've been wanting to work with you for a long time. I'm ready to do business with you. I said, I know that. I know that. Number 4, I've clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I'll never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Did you write it down? Did you write it down? You need to write it down. And you need to get excited when you write it down because it says the future is the time, the period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. So when I speak it, that's my future. When I write it, that's my future. And the future always comes first. So if the future comes first and it must come to pass, I've got to have a future first. If it's got to come to pass, because it says, and this too shall come to pass. So if it's got to come to pass, everything that has come to pass was first in the future. This jacket that I'm wearing was first in the future before it showed up in the present, and it's in the past. This iPhone that I'm doing this call on right now, guess what? Same thing. Everything must show up in the future first. So that goal's got to be in the future first. Then it becomes present. Then it goes into the past. That's why you got to write it down. Let me give you number 5. And number 5, let me explain this to you. You will compromise on number 5 for one thing. Money. Money causes people to compromise on number 5. Okay? Money, greed, competition will cause you to compromise on number 5. I was talking with this gentleman. He's been in the industry of network marketing 30 years, and we were having a conversation. He was telling me about a company. This company's been around for over 10 years, maybe about 15 years now. They've done over, I ain't gonna give the number, but they've done billions of dollars in sales. Billions of dollars in sales. He said, David, they're going down. I said, no way. No way. It's impossible. They're open in every country. They got billions of sales coming in. He said, David, they're going down. And I said, why? He started to explain it to me. I said, oh, they go number 5 again. They go at number 5. I don't play with number 5. See, look, I've seen number 5 work against me in my life. So this is not, I'm telling you that, no, I've seen it work against me in my life. It worked against me in my marriage. That's why my marriage failed, because of number 5. See, I own that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks don't want to own, you don't want to own your stuff. You know what I mean? And see, when you own it, what does it matter? See, look, I fully realize, see, a lot of y'all haven't fully realized it. You realized it, but you think there's a gray area. You think, oh, well, I can play around with it. I can touch it. If I just stick my toe in it, you know what I mean? If I just put my finger in it, it's going to be all right. Gotta understand because of the situation that I'm in. Okay. He got grace. Look what it says. I fully, not partially, okay? I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure. You know, David, I'm not really looking for something to long endure right now. I'm looking for right now. What's long endure? Well, then this is not for you. What I'm explaining to you right now is not for you. If you're looking for right now, if you're looking for the next year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years, then what I'm talking to you about, I've been successful in this industry for the last 13 years. It took me 5 years to win. And I had 13 years of tremendous success. Tremendous. I mean, God has been tremendously good. Through it all. Look what it says. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction that does not benefit all whom it affects. If you engage in transactions that do not benefit all whom it affects, it will not last. If you say, I'm going to hurt her in order to help him, it will not last. You get that? If you hurt someone to help somebody else, it's not going to last. Do you get that? It says, you will not engage in any transaction that does not benefit all, not some, all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use. What force are you using? What forces are you using? You know, one of the indicators, let me give you one of the indicators that I have in my life. I take a look around and I say, who are the caliber of people that are around me? That's what I do. Because you got to do that, right? You got to take a look and say, well, who am I really getting into business with? Who am I really communicating with right now? Who am I really entrusting my vision to, my goals to? I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. See, that's leadership. See, I'm so excited about the opportunity to lead where we can have the cooperation of people, where we can have that unity. I'm listening to this book. I'm listening to this book right now, and I've actually bought it for 200 leaders. So if you're one of the leaders, you're going to get one of these books. It's called The Speed of Trust. And I was listening to it, and it said this one thing can grow companies. It can grow nations. It can grow families. It can grow. But he said that one thing can also tear everything down. And he said that one thing is trust. See, trust is a force that I wish to use. See? And the cooperation of other people, I will induce, not manipulate, I will induce, watch this, let me show you how you induce. You induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. You induce people to serve you because you're so willing to serve other people. The greatest among us will be servants, not kings. He didn't say the greatest among us will be kings. He said the greatest among us will be servants. So my question for you is, how do you serve every day? And see, listen, if you're benefiting from that person, to me it's not service. How do you serve people you don't benefit from? I was with John the other day, and once again, I watch how he interacts with people. He has a servant heart. Every time he meets someone, he's always edifying them. He's always uplifting. That's a form of service. He's always bigging them up. He had a chance to meet my kids again, and he just oh man, David, you've done an amazing job. You've got great kids, and he doesn't know. I mean, I've had challenges in the area of parenting, but he's what? Serving. He's uplifting. Okay? I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy. You're coveting what somebody else has. That's a life mentality. You're admitting that God can't do it for you when you envy somebody else. See, envy is different from jealousy. I don't believe we have envious leaders. I believe we have jealous leaders. I think if you're a leader, it's hard to be envious when you're a leader because you got it. But when you're a jealous leader, what that means is you don't want somebody else to have it. Yeah, see, that's a jealous leader, right? You hear a woman say, she says her husband is what? Jealous. She has a what? A jealous what? Husband. Why is he jealous if that's his wife? Well, because he has possession over her. That's his wife. But he's jealous because he doesn't want another man to what? Look at his wife, talk to his wife, so he's jealous. That's why the Bible says God is a jealous God. Why? Because he possesses us and he doesn't want any other God to possess us. See, you got to eliminate that as a leader. See, as a leader, you got to want your leaders to shine. You got to want your leaders to be great. You got to want your leaders to be elevated. Huh? See, if you don't do that, your leaders will leave you. They'll leave you in a heartbeat. Bye-bye. Okay. I'll eliminate hatred. I'll eliminate envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism. You know, for the very first time, I actually looked at the word cynicism. I said, I've been saying this word. I've been teaching this word for a long time, Dave. You ain't never look it up. You know what it actually says? Mistrust. You're not trustworthy. That's what it means. When you got cynicism, that means that they're not trustworthy. You got to eliminate that. Okay? By developing, let me read it again. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love. So the remedy to all of that is to have love for all humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success, I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. See, belief is a force. Trust is a force. Faith is a force. Cooperation is a force. Leadership is a force. These are the forces that you wish to use. Right? You induce others to serve you because of your willingness to serve others. You're not engaging in any transaction that wouldn't benefit all whom it concerns. Okay? See, if you're in business and that business has a gray area, it ain't gonna last. I don't know any other way to tell you. Well, David, I need the money right now. Great. Go and get the money. Because the money is more important than your name. And that's okay. That's not a problem. Okay? But the reality of it is this. If it's gray, it ain't white, and it ain't black. It's gray. If you're going to go all the way, go all the way. Go all the way. My goal is to do it right. Yeah, David, it's harder to do it right. Yeah. It takes a little bit longer to do it right. Yeah. But I'm looking for the long endure. I'm looking for the legacy. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking for the 20-year, 30-year, 40-year legacy. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, David, you don't understand. Okay, fine. Roll with that. Roll with that way of thinking that I don't understand. But that's what they said. That's not what I said. The real estate market was booming. 2005, everybody was buying a house. Everybody was buying a house. They were putting you in homes you weren't even supposed to be in. It wasn't built upon truth and justice. 2008, crash. Crash. Okay? The economy that we have right now, it is what it is. If it's not built upon truth and justice, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. The self-confidence formula, study it again, understand it. That is what you need to accomplish the goal. Write the vision. It's got to be what? Written. It's got to be seen. It's got to be spoken. There's an appointed time. It cannot lie. It's either in my future. So God, I thank you. It's in my future. Or it's in my present. God, I thank you. It's already happened. Or it's in my past. God, I thank you. You already did it. But it's the same thing. The indefinite progress of existence is what time means. I'm the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. That's who time is. God is time. So I don't question time. I don't question God. He said it, and that's it. He said, David, this is what I'm going to do for you. Good. It's either in my future, or it's already happened, or it's in the past. And that's what he's always done. That's what he's always done for the last 39 years of my life. I don't see any reason why he would change now. That's what he's done in your life for the last how many years? When you start to trust him. Okay? When you start to trust him, that's when great things start to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Do not put your trust in man. Don't put your trust in me. Don't put your trust in man or woman. Put your trust in God. Love God. Trust God. Love people. I learned this a long time ago. I don't believe people. I believe in people. All right? So I'm never surprised. I'm never taken aback. Oh my God. No. I'm past all that. Okay? The vision is already written down. Now you got to get the self-confidence to have that vision come to pass. And I believe that you will. All right? Here, I'm going to leave this live up here. What I want you to do, leave a comment on what it is that you learned. What did you take away from this live? Okay, that's what I want you to do when we actually get off here. All right? I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And see you soon. Take care.